Hey guys, Mobywan here. In Stratholme, what I'm going to be showing you guys is a little opposite of the video that I did a few days ago, which was how to make gold in the auction house. That's very dependent on your server. Um, Pretty much the only way to make gold in that is to take advantage of really low prices that people are posting and selling them higher. And what I'm going to be showing you here is how to get some of those items if you don't want to buy them and sell them. This gives you a much larger profit margin, and that just means more gold. Stratholme's a very good instance for me personally. On my server, it usually nets me anywhere from 200 to maybe even 400 gold a run, depending on how well the cloth is selling. I actually wrote down how much of each item I got. I got 10 large brilliant shards, which sell for usually 9 to 15 gold each. 3 righteous orbs, which is usually 40 gold. I think I posted mine for about 60 gold though, so those do fluctuate. 9 stacks of rune cloth, which is about 5 to 7 gold each. 3 eternal essences, which can either be split up into lesser eternal essences for about 4 gold each, or into greater ones, which is about 12 gold each. So you figure they both kind of even out. And then 7 illusion dust, again 2 gold each. 1 essence of undeath, that's about 10 gold. And then 2 miscellaneous items. And what I mean by miscellaneous items is that stuff like tomes of spells and all that, like that mages need and priests need and all that. Teaches them mass buffs. Those usually don't sell too well. I think I posted mine for about 3 gold. So if they don't sell the first time, go ahead and vendor them because you're not going to make much off those. Probably worth a lot more back in the day when people actually needed them and they couldn't learn them from their trainer. But you're seeing right now that I'm pulling the undead side. My gear isn't great. I only have about 32,000 health. So it does take quite a toll on my health on this undead side. But the undead side's probably the easiest side. It gives you lots of rune cloth and essence of undeaths. Lots of blues. You can usually expect about 7 to 10 blues in this instance. Maybe the occasional bind on equip. You might be able to sell some of those in the auction house, like the light forge belt. Those usually sell pretty well. Those usually sell for about 12 gold. So if you have one of those, I'd probably keep those. They might even be able to sell as much as 20 gold. So I mean, if you can sell it more than a large brilliant shard's going to sell for, go ahead and do it. But if it doesn't, disenchant it right away, put it back on the auction house. What I'm going through right now is the live side, and this is what I call the money side, because this is where all the money's going to come from. All your money's going to come from here. It's going to come from rune cloth and greens, blues, but where most of your money is going to come from here is righteous orbs. Righteous orbs are used in the Crusader enchant. I have no idea why they're selling as well as they are, but usually as soon as I put them up, no more than 5 minutes later, they're all bought out. I have no clue why. I'm not sure why people are enchanting the Crusader enchant. I guess for the heirloom weapons, but people are using them, and that's also important to realize with your economy. Is you can't just look at what's selling. You have to look at why people are buying it, and you have to look at what amount of people are buying your items. If illusion dust is selling for more than arcane dust or more than infinite dust, say if infinite dust is selling for a gold each and illusion dust is selling for 4 gold each, well that's great, but you also have to realize that more people need infinite dust than illusion dust because more people are level 80 and they're enchanting level 80 gear rather than level 50 gear. So you do have to keep that into account, and then there's the occasional person that's power leveling their enchanting. They might be doing something like that, and again, they might have the Crusader enchant, and then they can give to someone else. But this pull got a little bit crazy because I bubbled and healed a little bit, as you saw back there, and I got the forbearance debuff. And then I tried to use a lay on hands, and I forgot that lay on hands now uses the forbearance debuff. So I had to proc Argent Defender, and then finish these guys off. Really close call, but since this video I have gotten the trinket, the figurine of the Colossus. Comes from Shattered Halls, and it gives you 127 health for every single time you block, and when you take into account the number of mobs that are beating on you and all that, that's a lot of health over a little bit of time, plus your Seal of Light and your Judgment of Light. I am skipping around some of the clips, guys. I don't like to show a whole lot of the looting. I'm showing a little bit of the looting phase right now, but if you can bring some more people along and power level some people, bring some more people along, help you loot a little bit faster, that does help. That can make you some more gold, and that can also make the runs a little bit faster. What I'm going to show you is I'm going to put a link in the description to a guy named Hobbs, and what Hobbs does is he does the exact same thing as this. He finds really profitable items, finds an instance to where you can farm them, does a quick few runs, and usually brings some people along, gets them a couple levels and all that. But he makes a ton of gold in the process. When you look at his videos, he has like 50 mounts, so you can tell he has a lot of gold. Which does show you that his server is really good for this kind of instance. Now, what's good for this server might not be good for your server. You know, you might be farming like ZF, or you know, you could be farming Scarlet Monastery or School of Mance or something like that. It's really important to find out what's good on your server, because this is very dependent on your server. Hobbs actually has a video on Karazhan where he goes in there and farms the trash mobs. That's not dependent on your server. That's always going to net you 400 gold an hour or so. And that's going to be really, really steady because you don't have to sell anything on the auction house. That's gold that's in your pocket. You can usually expect about 40 gold off of just the coin pickup if you do both sides. I never do the Baron side because it takes a long time, but if you're looking to do the live side and the undead side, it takes about 30 to 40 minutes. It's about 50 gold on pickups and gray items, and then sell your stuff on the auction house. Righteous orbs, they usually sell 60 gold each on my server, so those are very profitable as well. So you can realistically end up making 200 to 400 gold a run on Stratholme. So you figure that's about 600 gold an hour if you're really lucky. What I'm in right now is I'm in Shattered Halls, and Shattered Halls has been very It's been very profitable for me over the past weekend. People have been buying my arcane dust as soon as I put it up on the auction house, which you can disenchant a lot of. If you're not a disenchanter, one thing that you can do is you can find a guildie that'll disenchant it for you for free, or you can even pay someone to disenchant it for you. But you have to be careful with that, because that can outweigh your profits. This place, the pulls aren't as big, just because I don't have my figurine yet. I do have it now, but I actually got it in this video, which I'm going to show you. But the pulls aren't quite as big in this instance. This can also take a little chunk of your repairs out. So every time you run this instance, you are going to make sure that you want to repair. But you can expect about 5 to 8 greens maybe, which turns into some greater planner essences, which sell for about 15 gold on my server. And then you can expect some arcane dust. And then for your greens, or for your blues rather, you can expect large prismatic shards. Again, I have no clue why people are buying these. I just know that people are buying them in very large amounts. Which, if you don't know exactly why people are buying them and what they would need them for, that's not quite as bad. And if you can pinpoint why they're buying them, that'll make you a little bit more gold in the long run. But if you do realize that, hey, this item's selling, so I might need to go out and get some more and put it back on the auction house, that really does make you a lot more gold in the long run. As it stands in this video, I think I had about 4,800 gold on this character, and on my bank alt, which he only carries I think about 10,000 gold at a time. So that's about 15,000 gold, just rounding it, of course. But I had about 15,000 gold when I started this, about 15,000 flat. And when I finished this, both of these runs, I did Stratholme once and I did Shattered Halls twice. Shattered Halls usually makes me about 400 gold a run. This is a very profitable instance, guys. So is Stratholme. But it usually makes me about 400 gold a run. Stratholme usually makes me about 300 gold a run. Today I got really lucky and I got up to about 16,000 gold. So off these two instances I made about 1,000 gold, which was, you figure Stratholme's about 30 minutes long, and this instance is about 20 minutes long, plus all the travel time. So in about an hour and 10 or 15 minutes, just of farming, I made about 1,000 gold just selling the stuff on the auction house. Now, once again, this is very dependent on your server. You will want to go out and go to the auction house, look at how much the items are selling for. If they're not selling for a whole lot, you might want to find another instance to sell, or another instance to farm, rather. If rune cloth is selling really well, go farm rune cloth. If mage weave cloth is 30 gold a stack, go to ZF and farm some mage weave. If silk is booming on your server, silk is really tricky for my server because one day it can be at a gold 50 each per stack, and then the next day I would sell stuff for 40 gold a stack. So silk can be very tricky, but if that's selling, dump some of your inventory. When I say some of your inventory, I mean if you have 30 stacks, dump 5 stacks in at a time. You don't want to flood the market because that brings the prices down. People will be stupid and people will undercut you by 20 gold. That's really, really stupid. If you're one of those people, stop it. because you're not only costing yourself gold, you're costing your economy gold. Um, because if people keep undercutting and undercutting and undercutting and undercutting, then all these items just become irrelevant and nothing sells anymore. So there goes your entire server economy, and people complain like, "Oh, my server's horrible and nothing's selling and all that." What you do have to realize is prices are always going to go back up. You just have to wait the right time, and that could mean stockpiling for a day, could mean stockpiling for a month, could be stockpiling for 2 months, or it could be a week or something like that. Just keep scanning the auction house with your auctioneer add-on. Do some scans and make some graphs with your auctionator add-on or your market watcher add-on as well. Um, and eventually you'll see the prices are going to go back up. I don't think that I have the actual kill in here. My frap's kind of cut out on me. So if you guys like this video, subscribe to me, send me a comment, send me a message, PM, ask me some questions, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to give you a link to Hobbs' video in the description. Check out my blog. It's www.wowmobywan.blogspot.com. I'll give you a link to that in the description as well. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. Happy farming. Alright, peace.